Good morning, Geometry iPad Initiative class students. This is your favorite teacher again, Mr. Lane, back here for section 4.1, classifying triangles. Be listening for the secret word of the day when you watch this video. First one to email that to me as a free point for them. So be watching for that. It could be anywhere in the lesson. You might just have to listen to all of this one. So make sure that in your notes you get the title. You get number 5 also. We'll be classifying triangles in this section. So let's move on real quick. The first way that we can classify triangles is by the angles. If all of the angles are less than 90 degrees, they would be acute angles. So if all 3 angles are acute, then we could call it an acute triangle. Equiangular. Well, all of the angles are going to be the same measure to be an equiangular triangle, so all 3 of them would be congruent. Well, obtuse, you only have to have one obtuse angle to be an obtuse triangle. So if you have one obtuse angle, it's going to be an obtuse triangle. The other 2 angles obviously would be acute. In a right triangle, you're only going to have one right angle in a right triangle. So these are the ways that we can classify a triangle by angles. That's kind of key because just after this we're going to be looking at classifying it by the number of sides. So, alright, one thing you need to know about triangles is that all of the angles inside the triangle will add up to equal 180 degrees. No matter whether it's an acute, a right, a obtuse, no matter what type of triangle it is, all 3 of the angles are going to add up to equal 180 degrees. Well, let's see. We get to classify each triangle by its angle measures, and it looks like we're given all the angle measures. And let's see, the first triangle that we have to classify is triangle BDC. So looking at triangle BDC, well, I automatically see that 100 degrees, so that's going to make that an obtuse. Look at that good handwriting. Triangle. Alright, and the next triangle they want us to classify by the angle measures is ABD. Well, let's see, that's a linear pair right inside here, so I automatically know that this is going to be 80 degrees. Could have found that by knowing that all 3 of them had to add up to equal 180 degrees. And let's see, all 3 of those angles are less than 90 degrees, so I'm going to call that an acute triangle. That's how we can classify by angles. Alright, let's move that out of the way. Looks like the regular geometry students would be doing 4, 12, and 14 at this time. iPad Initiative class, yours will be at the end of after watching the lesson. Alright, classifying triangles by sides. If all 3 sides are different lengths, then we're going to call that a scalene triangle. There's no congruent side in a scalene triangle. Equilateral, notice all of these are marked congruent, so every side are going to be congruent, or they're all going to have the same length. Isosceles, well, any equilateral triangle is going to be isosceles because all you need to be isosceles is 2 of the sides congruent. So if you have 2 of the sides equal in length, then it is an isosceles triangle. And that's how we would classify by sides. So there's 2 different ways to classify triangles. Now I think we have a little picture here. It says classify each triangle by its side lengths. So we're supposed to classify triangle EGF. So here's E, here's G, here's F. Notice that I have 2 of them that's marked the same. So that's going to be an isosceles triangle. There we go. And then we have, let's see, triangle EG or EHG. So let's see, EHG looks to be the big triangle. If I add the 10 and the 14, I'd get this side length to, or sorry, the 10 and the 4, I'd get 14 for this side length, making all three sides different lengths, making that a scalene triangle. Pretty easy. That's how we classify it by sides. Regular geometry students would be doing 6, 8, and 16 from page 219. And let's move on. Alright, here we've got a triangle in the diagram. It says that it's equilateral, so does anybody remember what equilateral means? Anybody? Anybody? Yes, you in the back, sir. Oh, that would be, I believe that's equal sides all the way through. Yes, very good. Very good. Good answer. Alright, find the value for x then. So we're going to take and we're going to set these two things equal because we know that they're the same length because it's an equilateral triangle. So I'll have 2x plus 5 equals x plus 35, and that will allow me to solve for the x then. So I need to move the 5 over, so I can probably just subtract the 5. So 5 from 35 is going to be 30. Now I'm going to subtract the x, so that's going to give me x. So it looks like x is 30. Now if it wanted to know a particular side length, then I'd have to plug in the x, actually if it's equilateral, into any one of the sides, and that would tell me the distance for each one of the sides because they would all be the same. So it looks like each one of the sides would be 65. Alright, 10 and 18 from page 219. Let's move on. What do we have here? We have a steel mill produces roof supports by welding pieces of steel beams into equilateral triangles. Each side of the triangle is 18 feet long. How many triangles can be formed from 420 feet of steel beams? Alright, each side of the triangle is 18 foot, so we're going to have 3 sides in a triangle. Each one of them is going to be the same, so we need to take that 18 and multiply it by 3. So that's going to give us, let's see, 24, that's going to be 3 and 5, 54. Now we need to know, this is for each one of the triangles, so if we have 420 feet of beam and each triangle takes 54, then we need to do a little division there to see how many triangles we can make. So let's see, actually let's pull out the old calculator here if I can find the old accessories. Calculator, bam. And let's see, 420 divided by 54. By the way, the secret word is garage. Garage is the secret word for today. Let's see, that's going to be 7. We couldn't make 8, so we're going to go with 7 triangles. Let's move on. Here we go. 21 and 20 from page 219 for the regular. And that's going to wrap us up, it looks like. So remember, if you heard the secret word, make sure you email that to me. You might be the first one. First one gets the point. Good luck on that. And this is Mr. Lane signing off from OHS High School. See you next time. Have a good night.